Welcome to Linny's Kitchen on her planning day. It's so great because it gives you a smooth week ahead, because when you have good food prepared, you only eat good food. And it's great that you've got food that you can take for your lunch. You can wake up, you know you've got food for breakfast. You know you've got food for when you come home, and if you're just wanting a little snack, it's all done for you. So what I do is I do a little bit of pre-prep. Before I go to bed at night, I get things, I have a look what I've got in the cupboard. I don't really go shopping as such. I don't really have anything in mind. At the moment, I've checked my fridge and we're really down on sweets. We've got lots of little packs left over from the last few weeks of little meals that are all prepared. So today is really our sweet day. So we're going to pack up some new sweets, and sweets are really easy to make. Nice to make healthy ones. You know, you go and buy those little bars, they're anywhere between $5 and $10. So you want to cut the costs back as well, and that's what we're doing. And you're also storing your harvest and storing everything that you've got. So today what I'm trying to show you is just to share with you how you can use what you already have. So we had a few little nuts. So what we've got left, we've got some walnuts. So I soaked these last night in your milk kefir. The milk kefir, so that pre-digests it and it helps remove like some of the phytic acid, and then you strain and just rinse them off in the morning. Now this doesn't take long. I timed myself last night, 15 minutes. And when I got up this morning, about the same, just to rinse them and get ready for now to prepare them. So there's no quantities that you need. You'll see that we've just got little bits of everything, and we don't really follow a recipe. It's just a technique, and it's easy. So here we have our walnuts, so they've been soaked, so now they're nice and soft. So now if you were wanting to keep those, you could dry them and that would make them store, because if you keep them like that, they will go mouldy. But we're going to use them into treats, so there's no need to dry them. So there they are. So they're lovely and soaked, and they're sort of pre-digested. So we're working on things that are nice and friendly for the gut and easy to digest. We have some cashews, and again, see, they're beautiful and soft. You could actually make that into a little cashew paste, and that's just soaked. So they're so soft, if you just mash those away, you'd have a nice little cashew paste that you could use. You could use it as a frosting. You could add a little bit of sweetness. You could put it into your salads. You can do so much with it. We're going to use it for our sweet treats. A beautiful base, and it's lovely to mix with fruits as well. We'll probably mix it with an avocado or banana, or berries. That's all that we've got in our fruits today. Then we have our oats, and once again that's soaked in the milk kefir, and you can use coconut or whatever that you wish, and you'll see that that's beautiful and soft. Now what you could do with a little bit of this, what I normally do is I take a little bit of everything and I make like a little granita, like a little bircher muesli, if you want to call it that, and I put some of my puffed quinoa in there as well. These things, if we can get together with like people in your community, you can buy them all in bulk, and that's the way to go. I know a lot of people are storing rice, but quinoa is a much better alternative. You can use it the same way as how you use your rice, and you'll see that that's how we're going to do today. So that's the quinoa grain, and we've got all that soaked, and that didn't really actually come, it says white quinoa there, but you can see it's multicoloured quinoa, so I do buy that in bulk, but that was one that I had a packet of, so that I had to show you. That's a very alkaline grain, very easy on the digestion, has a lot of protein, so this is really good food. It's good to have as a staple in your diet, and you can have it from sweets to savouries to have for your brekkie. You can add like some of the rest of it to make like your little mueslis, and of course you'll see today we're going to turn it into probably a salad. So there's your oats, so they've been soaked, and once again we're going to use that in the exact same way. So that's the oats that have been soaked just overnight. They're ready to go. Now your dried fruit. Dried fruit is very dehydrated, and that's the idea of it. It was always dehydrated so that you had it to use when the season wasn't giving you plums, and so they were dehydrated and they come to prunes. But what we do is we know that they're very highly concentrated in sugars, so we soak those as well. I love water kefir or kefir, however you want to pronounce it, tibicus, you know, the beverage which is really gut loving, but I find it just perfect to soak your fruits. So in here we've got some soaked fruits, dried the organic apricots and the dates. And of course, organic dates, apricots are the way to go there. They're black because they don't have all those nasty sulphurs and things in there that keep them those bright orange colours. So when they naturally are dried, they go black. So you'll see they soften right up. You see that? They're so soft. And that's just been soaked in your water kefir overnight to help with that digestion. But it also makes them very tasty. Just beautiful. I've soaked them in a turmeric and ginger water kefir, so it just gives it that little bit extra flavour. And we've got some berries that I've thawed out, a little mixture of berries that I had little bits and pieces all left, so we'll be using those. With those grains, when you soak them, like in the seeds and the grains, like this is your buckwheat, that's your buckwheat kernel, and again that's been soaked in the milk kefir, and that's very soft. That by itself makes it beautiful, so easy. Just like I said, this soaking for the whole lot of this 15 minutes, so it's not time consuming. When you get up, you can use that as like a base for your birches. You can smash it, and you can even use it like flour. You can make pancakes out of it. Just grate some apples, throw an egg in, and you've got a beautiful pancake. Put a banana in there. It doesn't even really need sweetness. You can make it a little bit of date syrup, like when these are put into here and they're in your water kefir, that'll just smash. See how they'll just smash, and you've got like a date syrup. So then you can just use some of that for a sweetener. So that's why these just all got so many different uses. You'll see that just goes up, and that's all it is, was the dates and the apricots soaked in the water kefir overnight. And you've got date syrup. Date and apricot in that case. You can put pears, anything. So now all the grains and the seeds, I just have got like little bits of extras, and I put those into water kefir, and with that I'm going to make a bread. Just a very simple little bread. We've got some chickpeas that have been soaked. They're actually starting to sprout, so we'll use those. I'm going to come back and show you them all prepared, so you can just see the chia or chaya, the seed, the little black seed, and you can get them in white as well. I always make that into a gel. About 1/4 cup of seeds and 2 cups of water is all that you need, and that's easy on the digestion because the seed can just go straight through you, depending on where your gut is at and your digestion is at, but we want to make it easier to digest. And there we have the little gel. Now that you can put into like your potato, your mashed potato, you can sprinkle it through any of your salads, you can put it into so much. You can use it like as you make your own puddings. You can just get some coconut cream or coconut milk or one of the kefirs and just add a little bit of that and a little fruit, and you've got an instant dessert. Or put it into your avocado. So much you can do with it. It's a thickener. So if you're making a gravy or something and you need to thicken a sauce, just a little bit of that. And that'll keep for a week to 2 weeks. I just top mine up each week. So that's your little gel, and we'll put those into your treats as well. You get a lot of little bits and pieces left over, like your broccoli stalks. I love to ferment them. They're just beautiful, like broccoli and cauliflower stalks, some garden leeks, some slices of garden leeks, and some turmeric brine, which is just salted water with a bit of turmeric powder. That's all you need, and just seal that and leave it out room temperature because it's a ferment. They're absolutely beautiful. But if you just haven't got enough of them left, what I love to do is just put them into a plastic bag, and each week just put your peelings and everything in the bag, and those will come for my broth. So at the moment I've got a broth cooking over there with all my little bits and pieces. I don't have a lot of wastage because I actually love just eating these. I'll just chop them off because when they're nice and fresh, they're okay to eat for a snack. But we've got a wonderful local organic store that puts a lot of their veggies in little bags, little bits of what they've got left when they're getting their fresher ones in, and they reduce them right down. I'm very blessed, very grateful that I'm able to buy them. That one, like $2.40 was a bag of all the little veggies, and with that I just come home, slice them all up, put them into the bag, and then on my planning day, in they go for my broth, because otherwise I don't have a lot of things to put into my broth, because as I said, I don't have a lot of waste. Look at this beautiful carrot. Have a look at that. Isn't he gorgeous? Woo-hoo. He sort of keeps the imagination going, that little fella. So we've got a few veggies. We've got a cauliflower, we've got a little sad cabbage, some zucchinis, we've got some fruits and pears and some carrots, some shallots and some kale. So we'll be using all this, so we'll be back to show you what we will do with it. Those fruit I'm going to finish with my cake, because this one is just superb. So what we've got here is some dried fruit that's just soaked in the kefir overnight. That's the water one, and it's also got some quinoa in there. Because it's been soaking in there, it's all quite soft, and you can see that the fruit itself is really, really softened up. I'm looking for my spoon, it's sort of disappeared. So into there we've got some sliced ginger. I've put some ginger in there and some lime off my tree, just a little bit of lime zest. So that was put in there while it was soaking. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of spice, some nutmeg and cinnamon. It's a little bit of mixture that I've got there. Now I really should have a spoon, and there it is, thank you. So we'll just stir that, and you can see that that's very soft. Once again, you can use this, you can keep some of that separate and put that through like your buckwheat and your oats, and you can do little layers. So you can see from here that you can make like not just desserts, you can have like little breakfast, little snacks, you can get little jars and just layer them all. Now we're going to add 2 eggs, and they're from my girls. If you don't eat eggs, you can replace it with that. You can put a bit of that gel in there, and that will do exactly the same. So then we just stir that through, and into that we've got to add some flour. I love to use green banana flour. It's a prebiotic. So we need our prebiotics for our probiotics, you know, our probiotics that we make, all our beautiful beloved ferments, because the prebiotics are the fuel. So they're like the fibre. They're the fuel to get these going. So that's why green banana flour is good. But when you do cook it, it's a bit like when you cook your fermented goodies. It takes a lot of that goodness out, the prebiotics, the value of it. But that's okay, because we need to cook some things, and we're going to get plenty of it because we're going to put some of this into our treats. So it's not a problem. So this is your green banana flour. I love to make it when I've got plenty of green bananas, and I just slice them and dry them and blitz them, and you've got green banana flour. But you can buy that at any stores now. You can find your green banana flour. So then it just gets mixed through until it's to a cake. Oh, and I'm putting it everywhere. That's okay. It can go into our bread mix. So it just gets mixed through until it's to a cake consistency. And that will be your best fruit cake that you've ever made. It's so simple. You can do it into little muffins. We're going to do it into little muffins today, or into like a round cake, a square cake tin, whatever you like. There it is. That's what it looks like, and you'll see it all cook soon. So that's my cake. And now with those, I'm going to do it into small ones so I can just freeze them individually. But if you did it into like a square or a round, you could certainly just slice them and freeze them as well. So I'll be back soon with more to show you how we're proceeding with it. With the cauliflower, we're going to make some kimchi koftas, and so that we'll have a nice little savoury dish as well. Wish you could join me. Love and bacteria.